outside when it's sunny, but they ain't walk through the rain. It's free legit me, I miss him, I know he feeling my pain. And if you ain't got nobody, just know I won't ever change.
Welcome to Truth Out of Context. Quan.
Keem here.
And for today's topic, what makes you good or evil? Now, as we know, people love to put labels on things and love to label good and evil like they do black and white. But as you step outside your door, you realize it's not that simple. Some of the people you might be suspicious of, maybe the ones who do the right thing, and the ones you completely trust, maybe the ones that screw you over. But I'm going to toss it to Keem.
Right, and just to add to that spectrum of like what you're talking about there, to me, what really determines like whether someone's a good person, bad person, good or evil, is based on your intentions.
Right.
Like, for example, like say if you get into an argument with someone and maybe the conversation turns a little dark in the terms of like whatever's going on, maybe it's serious, maybe it's not.
Right.
But let's say I call you an asshole or something like that. But let's say that I say that because I'm mad. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right at all, because you should never say things that you truthfully don't mean. But at the same time, does it really make me a bad person based off of my actions or what I do in my regular everyday life? You know, like, am I a jerk to everybody? Do I call everybody an asshole? Do I have a reason to call everybody an asshole? It's just things like that will determine, to me, within individual people, instead of putting labels and stigmas on people that don't really fall in that same category, you know?
Right, I agree. And to actually give you a real life example, I wasn't going to share this at first, but I think it needs to actually put things into perspective. Right. It's like a while back, it's like I was going to a local grocery store and I was buying some things. I was buying a gift card for myself. And I was profiled by some guys who thought I was suspicious, think I was getting into part of some kind of scam or whatnot. So when the guy tried to snatch it out of my hand, I started going off, because in my eyes, he's the bad guy for trying to profile me.
Right.
But when they call everybody else, they looked at me like I'm the bad guy, because they didn't see what happened before that. All they see was a man just cursing someone out and going off.
Right.
So it's always, so before you try to like judge and say whether a person is like immature or irrational or not, you have to look at the full situation, because once they actually found out the full story, then they start to look stupid.
Yeah, that's true. And like, to add to that example, like, to perceive something beforehand can be deceiving too.
Right.
So like, perception always leads us to our results and what we think about stuff. Like, no matter if it's like stuff like that where people may be into a confrontation or something, but even that could be, like I said, it could be deceiving, because if you're like, we're not detectives, we're not like forensic scientists or anything like that. You know, I'm not a judge or anything, but and I'm not Batman. But at the same time, I feel like going in sometimes and kind of evaluating and assessing the situation, that kind of tells you where to go within conflict. And we have to use our better judgment as people, because it's in everybody. It's just, do we choose to do it or not? Do we choose to be the example? Do we choose to lead by example and create other leaders? You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Into doing things that we normally don't think of, because like I said, I can think whatever I want about anybody.
Right.
But it doesn't make it true. And it doesn't make me right just because that's the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be able to assess things and go, okay, he's not trying to scam. Maybe he really is texting somebody. Maybe he really is calling somebody. And we have to kind of like look at it from every angle, every aspect of the situation in that gray area.
Yeah. Fire as always, man. But to sum it up, in reality, we're all capable of doing good and bad.
Definitely.
But the reality, what you gotta realize is, just like you said, your actions and your intentions will tell all. So always actually look at things from every side before you judge somebody, because the person you may be judging may be the one to help you. What y'all think? Comment down below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, stay strong and don't take what we say out of context. Peace and love.